Hello, I'm Tesla, and it is June 11th, so I am very late to budget this month. I somehow neglected to mention that I would be in New York in early June. I just came back to Texas this week, and I am quickly drowning at work all of this month, and I'll be drowning probably most of next month as well. So I already assigned my investments in the app the typical 570. So that leaves me $1,784.37 left to budget. I say that with air quotation marks because this is definitely going to be more of a rambly what I spent this mid-month video because there is just so few days left and I'm mostly just going to have to cover everything I spent so far. Hopefully it's not too crazy. Fuel 24.38 to fill up my whole tank, which is not too bad considering how high the prices were not too long ago. I don't think I'll need to top up, but I'll add 10 just in case. And one cool thing is I don't need to add anything into my transportation fees this month because I have my housing and car insurance bundled. I talked to my insurance. I talked them down on my housing insurance and and they credited that difference to my account. And so I don't have to pay any car insurance for June because that's how much they're lowering my house insurance by, which is not that much. It's actually kind of hilarious that my house insurance is so expensive that even adjusting my plans and talking them down only really covers like 1 month of car insurance, but a win is a win. I cover all my bills with my month ahead fund. And then let me cover that last bit, 65.89. I have spent 51.63 on consumables this month, and a consumable is anything that I buy for my house that I am going to run through. So I got it from Drops, and they're a zero waste company, and I get my dishwasher pods from them and my laundry pods. And I spent a little extra because I'm trying out their new hand soap. I have concentrated hand soap tablets, and I think they're from Blue Land. I love them. They smell good. They last 10 times longer than any traditional soap, I think, and they take up less storage in between refills because they're tiny little tablets, and they're actually cheaper when you consider how much water goes into soap dispensers, and they're just diluting the most valuable part of the soap. So even though I like what I already have, I am going to try this product from Drops because I need to consolidate the number of companies that I order from because I use Who Gives a Crap for toilet paper. I use Blue Land for these soap tablets. I use Drops, just like I mentioned. And I think I've used Grove Collaborative for like, I don't know, other miscellaneous things. So I want to minimize the amount of companies that I have subscriptions with. So hopefully I like them, and I don't think I need anything else for consumables, but I do need to add money into durables. My mop has been broken maybe about a month and a half. It's one of those spray ones, and then I use reusable mop pads, but the water release mechanism, it just like consistently opens and dumps the entire content of soapy water on the floor, like all in one spot. And I've been trying to work around it. I don't want to anymore. It's like pretty inconvenient to deal with. So I'm switching mops, and then I'm going to get more reusable mop pads so that way they're the right size for that mop, hopefully. It's like $40, and then all the mop pads I had for my other mop, I'll still keep using them as much as I can and like for rags and stuff. And I'm not going to assign anything to maintenance. I take it as it comes and I pull it from my fund of like where I pull my housing repairs from. I've spent $171.86 on groceries, but guess what? The week I came back and got groceries, a storm hit my city and my power went out for like at least 10 hours. Some of my frozen food I'm still eating. I threw out anything meat related, dairy related. Some things I'm still hoping I'll be okay. um, and I did take some of my groceries and I took them to a friend's house who did have power to try to save some, but I lost a good amount. And if you remember last month, I think it was last month or the month before, my fridge had broke, and so I lost all the goods I had as well. Every time I try to buy groceries, I guess something happens and I just keep losing all my food. But anyway, I still have to attempt to feed myself this week, and maybe frozen meals or something like pre-made HEB meals. So I'll just assign 225. Yeah, $50 should be enough for this week for food. I was close to not dining out at all while I was back, but my power went out again literally last night, and there wasn't even a storm last night. So whatever, to get some air conditioning. I left to go watch a boxing match with some friends and ate at a restaurant called Twin Peaks. And I told the people I was going with, like, Twin Peaks has terrible food. But guess what? We ordered anyway, and mid fight, I knew something wasn't right. I wasn't feeling well. I went outside to get fresh air, and then all of a sudden, I'm throwing up in front of all the restaurant goers. So that's lovely. It was near the entrance, and it was in the grass, so nobody was stepping on it or anything. But like every time somebody exited the restaurant, they were walking past my puke, and it was terrible. I was outside waiting for the fight to be over, and I told my friend just use my card to pay my bill. And they did. I told them, well, did you tell them to take some money off my bill because their food made me sick? Because I hadn't eaten really anything else that day. And I ordered like cheese tots, like mozzarella sticks, but in tot form. And everyone at the table tried one and they did not like it and they did not go for a second one. But I was like, well, this is what I ordered. Like, I don't want to waste the money. I don't want to waste the food. So I just kept eating them, even though they weren't very good. That was a mistake. But they didn't think to mention it to the waitress, so I paid full bill plus tip. I don't know how much the tip was on top of my meal, so I'm just gonna assign $25 for that experience. Um, if something doesn't taste right, don't keep eating it. I don't know. I have to keep relearning that lesson. But in case I go out again this week, I'll assign another 30. It was crazy. It was a total vibe ruiner. It was crazy. It just $19 literally completely wasted. So moving on, I did get Taco Bell once, and I don't know why this says negative 1.75. I wonder if maybe something rolled over from last month, and that's why it's showing as a negative, even though I spent $8 and didn't cover it. I don't have a clue. I know all my accounts are reconciled, so I know it's got to be correct, but I'll just assign 25 because I forget to take lunch into work, or I've been finding myself recently going into Starbucks. I didn't grow up getting Starbucks because it was always too expensive to go there, but I've been treating myself a little bit lately. And it's like $5 a drink. So if you get like one meal and two drinks, that's like $25 right there. Whew. This is kind of crazy. I actually shocked myself when I saw this number. That's what you get for spending for 11 days and not paying attention to your budget. So when I was in New York, it was a family vacation. I didn't really have a choice. My mom was just like, you need to take these days off because I got a really good flight deal and you're just coming with us. And I'm like, okay, fine. She paid for pretty much most of it, but one thing I was not anticipating was spending an entire day going around New York thrifting and shopping. And apparently I spent $224.37. So I think I got two shorts, three pairs of shoes, two of them were sandals, one pair of heels, four jumpsuits. Like some of them I'm returning depending on the fit. Oh, and I think, okay, we went to a Broadway show. My mom did not ask us which Broadway show we wanted to see. I would have chosen Funny Girl, Lion King, Six. She chose a show I'd never heard of called The Neil Diamond Show. It turns out he's the guy who wrote Sweet Caroline and that song from Shrek, like, I believe, you know, that Shrek song. So he did those two things. And I guess a bunch of other things. So that's the show we saw, but the theater was so freezing. It was so cold. I actually bought a sweater, one of those, well, you know how they sell clothes, you know, like whenever you go to a show. And their sweater was like 70 freaking dollars. So definitely spent a lot on clothes this month. I actually wanted to go thrifting today. I was like, maybe I'll do my budget after I go thrifting. I am glad I did this first because wake up call. Wake up call. That is a lot of money to spend on clothes for me. I'm not going anywhere. I don't think I'm gonna buy myself anything else for the rest of the month. Hopefully, I have some self-control. So, presents. It was a friend's birthday. Gave them $25 because I'm real cheap like that, to be honest. And then, of course, Father's Day is coming up. I've got a dad and a stepdad. I wanted to give them each $25. So that would be another 50. I'll assign 25 for my stepdad. Even though having a daughter like me is a gift every day in itself, actually, but my stepdad covered most of my New York expenses, so this $25 is like literally the least I can do. But my dad last month, he needed $300 from me, and I'm happy to help out when it's necessary. Because if I'm in a better financial position than him, like, what's the point of having money if you can't use it to help somebody? But like, and I know this is terrible, and me being like a selfish jerk, but $300 is a lot of money for me. And I'm still trying to financially recover from last month, not just because the 300, but also because my fridge repairs, they cost so much. That cost like at least $600 at least, just how much it all was. And so I don't want to sign to give him anything. If I feel too guilty, I'll pull from other categories, but it's like, I don't want to give you $25 this month when I just gave you 300 last month. Like, I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I don't know. I may put money there later. Right now, at the moment, I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. Support is always 25 because, man, I don't know. That's just the number I seem to land on. Kind of very cheap. I'll spend $200 on clothes and then put 25 in charity, which is not good. I like to think that as I get older and hopefully make more money and get further into my career, I can grow to be more generous. Not a good look. My dog is my dog is rolling around on my lap and I'm not mic'd up. So if you hear a bunch of movement, I'm really sorry. Okay, Chip. I know, but you're gonna ruin the quality of this video, and I can't afford that because these videos are already so terrible. I'm actually about to talk about you. I'm actually about to talk about you. So if you move, I can get to talking about your birthday this month. Oh my gosh. I think Chip has finally settled down. Okay, so he needs $35 for dog food because I usually try to buy the bigger bags. And then it's his birthday this month, the day I adopted him from an animal control center. It's June 18th. And on his first birthday, I went all out. I bought him special cookies, a cake, I got him a ball pit. He hated the ball pit, actually. He is not a ball pit guy. And then I made invitations for his birthday party at the dog park, but only one person and their dog came. This year, I think he's feeling a little more mature. Okay, he's past 2 years old. He's not a puppy, he's an adult. I think he's looking for something more low key this year, like just with family and friends. So, he needs $20 for treats and such. Let's do $30 because he might want a little birthday bandana. Of course, I supported the Little Mermaid movie. That was only $9.74. And then I saw Spider-Verse with my little sister in New York. And I finished Ted Lasso. I signed my mom up for Apple TV. I signed her up for a free trial. And then I forgot to cancel it. And then she was like, why the hell am I getting charged for Apple TV? And I'm like, because you love me? No, I canceled it for her, but only after she got charged. But anyway, I finished Ted Lasso season 3. Kind of a mess, actually. Yikes. Well, not yikes, but I don't know. I'm glad I didn't pay to watch it myself, is all I'm going to say. So I don't think I need anything else for entertainment. I am going to assign something to hobbies. I want to subscribe to someone's Patreon. I think it's only $6, just in case I'm going to add $10. So I follow a lot of van lifer accounts, van build accounts, like conversions and such. And I think the Patreon I'm going to subscribe to, I really like their van layout. And I think they have an offering of like, you can see their exact SketchUp file, which is the file you use to like lay out your van. And I've been doing it on VanSpace 3D, which is easy and cheap platform. But it'd be good to see someone else's actual measurements and how that all works out. Actually, the person I'll be subscribing to their Patreon, they're selling their van soon. So I've asked them what the price is going to be. They don't know yet. If it's a good price, because it's a secondhand van, even if it's nicely converted, like how much can it really be worth? I don't know. We'll see. If the price is right, I may do the most financially irresponsible thing I've ever done. I might take out a loan, buy a van, get a remote job, rent out my house, and live in a vehicle in the meantime. I've been like obsessing over this possibility for like 6 months. And I can overthink things to death. Like, I can think about something for years and never make an inch to do it. So, I may not, but I just know that I'm like sick of where I currently am and I want out of this hamster wheel. But at the same time, the only way out of this rat race is money. Buying a car and living out of it to travel the country, not exactly a money making machine. So, in fact, if I live in a vehicle, that's the only kind of housing that is guaranteed to depreciate every single day. Like, it's the only investment it's not an investment at all. Like, it's just a money pit. You're not going to make your money back out of a vehicle. It's always going to be at a loss, right? So, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I'm going to keep up with the builders and see what they do. And whatever they do, I want to be the first to know about it. So, I'm a crazy delusional person, and that's what I'm gonna do potentially. Um, so aside from shopping, which I kept in my appearance because it's a thing that I'm gonna keep, long term. Anything else New York related, I just popped into adventures because it was more experience related as I was going throughout the day. And it just shows how much my mom came in clutch for this vacation. If she's gonna make me go somewhere, she at least pretty much pays for everything. So that's nice. Um, so I only spent $53.51 for a week in New York, which is, I mean, that's nothing. It's my fourth time going there, and I am so burnt out on fast paced city life. It is not where I would have chosen to go and use up my vacation days, but I'm not going to complain about a basically free vacation. I do think there's not much in New York that I can't get in my current city aside from nice public transportation, but of course, that is most of the country. So, most of the country, you have to have a car. And skyscrapers are mesmerizing when you grow up in a small town, but once you see them every day, it's like just more of the same. And also, I was there as the sky was getting, from yellow to more and more orange, and the air quality was pretty bad. And it just reminds me of how badly I want to see the natural beauty of the world before it's completely gone because it's going pretty fast. I was just staring at the sky and questioning, do I want to keep preparing for the future at all? Like, I was googling like what can really happen if I just rack up tons of credit card debt and never pay it off? Like, am I really going to live long enough to see the consequences of that? I don't know. Um, like, why prepare for a future if there's not going to be one? I don't know. Just lots of thoughts like that swirling around in my head. And I'm not going to be like, I can think pretty drastic thoughts. I rarely ever take drastic action. I'm probably just going to stay the course of living a lower middle class life and doing the 9 to 5 and just waiting to die like everybody else. But yeah, it it was crazy. Nothing like a natural disaster to make you question the state of the world. Okay. Miscellaneous can have $50 subscriptions covering that, and everything else just goes back into here. 872. Oh, let me double check my credit card category. I pay it off every month and I try to cover all my expenses. So yeah, I don't need to assign anything. Okie dokie, yeah, then definitely the rest can just go back into my month ahead, 872.49. So my next check, I only need to take out 476.63 to even it out. And if nothing else pops up, then I think I can actually contribute to savings this month, which would be amazing because something has come up every other month this year where I've been negative in savings. And I do keep enough cash on me for it to not like cash, but in a secure account for it not to be a big deal. That even if my savings goes down this year, it's not going to be too much of a problem because I probably have too much on me in cash anyway. So that's a good position to be in, but it would be nice now that we're midway through the year to at least catch up to where I was in savings, if not advance it. But no matter how it goes, just going with it, taking opportunities as they come. So yeah, I will see you in like 4 days or something. Like, I'll see you pretty soon because this budget video was so late in the month. So I hope you've been having a good June, and I hope you have a great rest of the month, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.